Hey yo guys, how's it going? Tally here, and today I'm hopefully going to answer the question, is Dragon Link still good? Now Dragon Link used to be a really powerful deck, and now not so much, so make sure to comment your thoughts down below, like the video, subscribe, and watch the whole thing to support the channel and help us grow. Now let's dive in. As some of you may know, Dragon Link used to be a tier 1 threat, capable of ending on multiple negates, plus an extra deck lock, and occasionally a couple of cards ripped from your hand. That's not fun. Usually, this could all stem from many one-card extenders, and if you didn't have that one-card starter, then you had plenty of extenders, meaning any two dragons was pretty much full combo. It's primarily a link-based strategy, with a bit of synchro love in there, in the form of Borderload Savage Dragon, with the occasional Xyz monster. Now since the ban of Linkross and the Baby Buster, the deck's been a bit weird with its overall power ceiling. It's dropped drastically. However, it still has access to some incredibly powerful engines and extenders, so let's take a look. Now, this deck is chock full of extenders and different engines, so I'm going to be relatively quick about it while still providing you the necessary info. First of all, starting with our Rokket engine, this features Tracer, the in-archetype level 4 tuner that also summons another Rokket from deck. Silver Rokket, it's really just the best Garnet, but it also can rip a card from your opponent's extra deck if targeted by a Link monster. We also have Recharger, and it's essentially Monster Reborn with more steps but useful in the grind game. It's really good at interacting with Dark Dragons. Synchron is really a Hulk target, and he's just adorable. Absolouter is an extender when you've got a Rokket on field, and a Searcher when sent to the graveyard. All around, a very good boy. Nocto Dragon, it's an extender when you special summon a Dark Dragon, and it's a draw one when you link with it. Another good boy. For spells, we have the Field Spell Boot Sector Launch, which can summon 2 Rockets from hand, or if your opponent has more monsters than you do, it's also Monster Reborn, up to 2 monsters. We also have Quick Launch, which is just busted. It special summons a Rokket from deck, and it's not once per turn. And for extra deck parts of the engine, we have Striker Dragon. It's the link one that searches the field spell, and it has some fun synergy with Recharger, allowing you to reborn some of your bigger monsters. And also we've got Borrow Sword, not really a Rokket, but it's done by the Rokket dude in the anime. Anyway, it's a big beater, and it can also trigger silver in a pinch. And again, Savage Dragon isn't really a Rokket in any way, shape or form, but the Rokket guy from the anime, comment his name down below, used him, so he's an honorary Rokket. But Borderload Savage Dragon's role really is a nifty negate and one of the many pseudo-boss monsters for the deck. Now with our Rockets out of the way, let's talk about what I like to call the Chaos Engine. We have Safer, which sends itself or other dragons plus itself to search a dragon with the same level as the card sent. Also recurs level 8 dragons, which is very good in this deck. It does wonders for any grind game. Then we have the Baby Chaos Dragons, Black Dragon Collapse, Serpent and White Dragon Wyver Buster. Essentially they will banish a monster with the other attribute from the graveyard to summon itself, and when it leaves the field and is sent to the graveyard, it actually searches the other one. And that's just... Next, for one of our daddies, we have Chaos Dragon Levianeer. This boy is just good. Depending on what you banish to summon it, it can either pop cards on the field, rip cards from your opponent's hand, or revive cards from your graveyard. As I said, a very good boy. And then, one thing that I would like to mention is Chaos Emperor Dragon of Armageddon and Death and Destruction. It recurs banished dragons, puts a body on board, and is also really handy for level 8 Xyz plays. It's not played in every Dragon Link deck, but I think it's a notable mention. And for spell cards in this engine, we have Chaos Space, which searches your Chaos Boys at the cost of discarding something of the opposite attribute and lets you draw a card and recur banished cards. This card's really good at starting your game, extending your game, and helping you close games. And then we have what I like to call the Dragonity Package. Essentially this is Romulus, Lance, Dragon Ravine, and Phalanx. Romulus is going to search either your Dragon Ravine to dump a card to the graveyard, or Lance to put a body on board, allowing you to further extend your plays. Now neither Lance or Dragon Ravine are strictly hard Garnets, Phalanx is, but if you don't draw Phalanx, you're pretty Gucci. Almost at the end of our main deck, we have the Red Eyes package, which gives you a powerful normal summon and Black Metal Dragon that searches Red MD and lets you go into further dragon plays. Also something to consider, the deck can get away with playing the Red Eyes Dragoon engine, so a Fusion, Verte, Dark Magician and Red Eyes, which does synergise with our Black Metal Dragon. And finally, I'm just going to name some really good dragon cards which are pretty much mandatory as extenders. We have Tempest, the Dragon Ruler of Storms, Galactic Spiral Dragon for your rank 8s, and Omni Dragon Brotor to search out your monsters and go further into plays. And that's really the main deck. Everything else is just some form of extender like a Monster Reborn kind of card. Really, with this, we're not so much looking at an archetype, we are just looking at dragon good stuff and highlighting the really best parts of the dragon engines that we play. And for our extra deck, I'm going to keep it relatively quick again because honestly, outside of the key combo cards on screen, you can get kind of creative with the deck and the extra deck to allow you to end on different end boards. So first we're going to start with the heart and soul of the deck, the Guard Dragons, the good boys. LP is nuts since it can grab you pretty much any dragon from the deck that you want. Like literally almost any dragon. And Empiste recovers dragons from the banished or graveyard zone. And Agripane, well, Agripane's banned and I'm kind of sad about that. And some Link 2 dragons that you're definitely going to want to consider. We've got Hieratic Seal of Celestial Spheres. This card's pretty much mandatory in that it's a bounce that summons a dragon from deck. So you can get really creative with this. In the past, I've seen people play the Amorphages in order to lock your opponent out of the extra deck. I've also seen people run Aether the Evil Empowering Dragon in order to get a secondary banish. Now this card's probably better in Pendulum decks as it can recur itself every turn, but not a bad option if a deck dies to losing its normal summon and some follow-up. Another card to consider that people don't often look at too importantly is the Buster Link 2. This is a dragon that takes any 2 monsters, meaning if you get Nibiru'd, if you've got a couple of extenders, you're back in the game and you can easily go on and take it from there. And now I'm just going to show you some generic cards that I'm sure you all know, and I'll put the effects up on screen just in case you don't. We have Appaloosa, we have Access Code Talker, and we have Halqifibrax. Really, these cards are just either negates, extenders or board poppers in which this deck can create lots of. And really, here's where the flex spots come into play, which I think really allows you to tailor the deck to how you want to play it. We have what I like to call the Shu Ping package because it's Dillingerous, Quad Borrow and Abomination, and essentially it allows you a bit more of a control based grind game where instead of putting up lots and lots of negates, you're using your Rokket package more heavily to accrue a couple of negates, maybe a bounce and some pops, but it's a consistent pop every turn. Your rockets will trigger Abomination and your rockets will allow you to get more rockets to trigger Abomination, essentially meaning that you are able to grind really well and play a resource game. This is how historically I have liked to play the deck, but I'm going to show you some other options too. As mentioned previously, you can also play a Dragoon package in the deck, and to be honest, I don't think it's such a bad idea. Dragoon's a bit of a boss monster, goes really well with Savage and Spheres. Allowing 3 easy points of interaction with 2 of them being Omni Negates isn't really a bad thing, and always consider that Verte Anaconda isn't a terrible backup play if you have to go for it. And then finally, just your favourite rank 8s really. I've shown you that the deck is capable of making rank 8s. It's got cards like Galactic Spiral, it's got Levianeer which is naturally level 8, as well as Chaos Armageddon, Dragon God of Death and Destruction Omega, it's also level 8, so the deck is capable of making some really strong rank 8s. And now I'm going to show you some end boards that this deck can make based on some of the recommendations and options that I've just provided you. So, it's that time of the video again. Let's think about how we improve Dragon Links. Some might even say break Dragon Links. No, go away Link Ross, I'm not talking about you. Now really, as a Dragon Link fan, I would like Agripane back. I think Agripane is just an incredible card and that's kind of the problem. It's an incredible card, it summons negates from the extra deck and protects your plays. That's a bit of a problematic monster. Now for a more serious answer, I would actually give something like Borderland Dragon. Realistically, it's a powerful boss monster for rockets and dragons in general, with a spell speed 4 negation effect and protection out the ass. This won't make the deck tier 0, but it's mighty appreciated. But do you know what Dragon Link really needs? It needs time. Dragons are by far the most popular type in the game and they consistently get powerful support. It is literally just a matter of time until this deck's good again, as long as LP doesn't get banned. But even after that, dragons are insane. So let's answer the question, is Dragon Link good? Well, I think so. The deck has access to all the dragon support ever printed and ever to be printed. Every time dragons get stronger, so does this deck. Right now, it's a poor time for it. but it can exist as a powerful mid-range combo deck that aims to set up just enough interruption to end your opponent on turn 3. Give this deck some time and it'll bounce back. Let's be honest, Konami cannot resist making good dragon support. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. As always, if you like it, give it a like. If you love it, give it a share and tell everyone you know about Team Tally today. If you haven't joined Team Tally and you've made it this far, might as well drop a subscription, eh? As always, you have been amazing. I have been Tally. I'll catch you all later. Bye.